Can you actually retire at 50 with $500,000 saved up? It's a question that's on a lot of people's minds for sure. And today, we're going to break down the answer. We're going to move past all the guesswork and give you a real framework to figure out if it's actually possible for you. So let's just dive right in. Is $500,000 the magic number? I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, right? But here's the thing. Retiring at 50 means your savings might need to last you 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. And, well, that completely changes the whole game. So this is it, the core question. And let's be real, for a lot of us, thinking about this brings on some serious anxiety. Our goal here isn't to just give you a simple yes or no. Instead, we want to walk you through a clear, step-by-step way to find the answer for yourself. All right, so to really get a handle on what $500,000 means for your retirement, we first need to see where that number fits in the grand scheme of things. Let's put it into context. You know, when you ask people what they think they need to retire comfortably, you get this huge number. A survey from 2024 found that the magic number in most people's heads is almost $1.5 million. I mean, wow, that's the dream, right? But here's the reality check. The Federal Reserve found that the median retirement savings for folks in their late 40s and early 50s was just $115,000 back in 2022. That is a massive, massive gap between the dream and what's actually in the bank for the average person. And this is exactly why having $500,000 at 50 puts you in a really strong position. You're way ahead of the curve compared to your peers. But, and you knew there was a but coming, this is a crucial point. It's a great starting point, but it is not the finish line, not even close. This quote really just hits the nail on the head. Averages are great for getting a general idea, but they don't pay your bills, you know? What really truly matters is figuring out what this money can do for your life and for the specific retirement that you want to have. Okay, so let's make this real. A big lump sum of savings is one thing, but what does that actually look like as a yearly paycheck in retirement? How much can you safely spend each year so you don't run out of money? To figure that out, we can use a pretty common rule of thumb called the 4% rule. It's a simple guideline, really. The idea is you withdraw 4% of your savings in your first year of retirement, and then you adjust that dollar amount for inflation every year after that. It's designed to give your money a good shot at lasting for at least 30 years. Let's do the quick math. Don't worry, it's easy. You take your $500,000 nest egg, you multiply it by 4%, and boom, you get $20,000 for your first year of retirement. That's what this rule suggests your savings can safely kick off for you each year. But wait, that's not the whole story. Your savings aren't your only source of income. We've also got to factor in Social Security. Right now, the average benefit is about $23,000 a year. So let's add that to our $20,000 from savings. That brings our total estimated income to right around $43,000 a year. So the big question, is $43,000 a year going to cut it? Well, for some perspective, the median income for Americans over 65 is currently closer to $62,000. So yeah, our estimate is quite a bit lower. That highlights a potential income gap you definitely need to plan for. And that income gap isn't even the full picture. Why? Because that $43,000 is your gross income. We haven't even started talking about the major expenses that are going to take a bite out of that number. And the two big ones, as always, are taxes and healthcare. See, unless your money is in a Roth account, which grows tax-free, you're going to owe taxes on your 401k or IRA withdrawals. Even your Social Security benefits might get taxed. And then there is healthcare, a cost that, let's face it, only gets bigger as we get older. So just how big can that healthcare bill get? Well, get this. Fidelity estimates that a 65-year-old retiring today will spend, on average, over $157,000 just on healthcare throughout their retirement. That's a huge expense that has to come out of your income. Okay, I know. After looking at all those numbers, it might feel a little discouraging, but here is the single most important part of this whole thing. If you're 50, you are not at the finish line. It's time to pivot from just analyzing to taking action. This is the key takeaway right here. Being 50 isn't a deadline. It's actually a position of strength. You could have another 15, maybe even more, years of earning, saving, and investing ahead of you. That is a seriously powerful amount of time to boost that nest egg. And you know what? The system is actually designed to help you do it. Once you hit 50, you unlock something called catch-up contributions. It's basically a provision that lets you put more money into your IRA or 401k each year than younger folks can. It's a great way to accelerate your savings when it counts the most. It's also so important to remember that we've been using national averages for everything. You have to look at your entire financial picture. Do you have a pension from an old job? Maybe some rental income? And most importantly, what will your actual Social Security benefit be? You can get a personalized estimate straight from the source over at ssa.gov. Now, the source material we looked into also mentioned a few different strategies people use to grow their savings. Things like getting professional help from a financial advisor, looking into alternative investments like gold to diversify a bit, or even using those cool apps that automatically invest your spare change. These are just some examples of the different paths you could look into. So let's circle all the way back. Is $500,000 at age 50 enough? Well, it's an absolutely fantastic start, but it's not some automatic golden ticket to a stress-free retirement. The real answer depends entirely on your personal expenses, your other income streams, and the kind of lifestyle you want to live. We've given you the framework. The only question left is, what does your path forward look like?